first time traveler going out of Ghana, I'm sure I'm going to share some things that will be very helpful for you. I struggled with information when I wanted to travel, and I realized I could help out someone who is also going out for the first time. Now, I've been to 4 different cities, and I have a bit of information when it comes to some of the things that can stress you out. So this will probably be in a series as I continue posting some of the things that I did in SA. So the first thing is your yellow fever card. This is something you definitely need to have if you have any plans of going outside the country. It doesn't matter whether you're going near or far, just have it done. You can get to the airport clinic to get it done, and the price will depend. It's not expensive though. So get your yellow fever card aside your passport. Those are the two things you're going to travel with. The next thing you should find out is the visa. We have a lot of visa-free countries, so all you need to do if you're going to a visa-free country is to book your hotel and book your flights. But there are some that will require you to do a little bit more, like visa on arrival. So you have to find out what that country really requires. If you're going to a place like South Africa, it's visa-free. And so you just have to get your accommodation sorted and then your flight. Talking about flight, I'll tell you my story with Kenya Airways, but there are a lot of flights. Usually it's about the one that is less expensive. So you could check out which flights go to the country and how much it will cost at certain times. One thing that I learned that really helped was knowing to book ahead, right? When we're going to Dubai, it really helped us. With the SA, it was a traveling tour, so I didn't really deal with the booking. But if you book very early, you get very good prices. So if you want to travel outside the country, you may have to check 6 months, 8 months. Sometimes you can book as far as 8 months or even a year when it comes to the flight. Then you also check the weather. Before you go anywhere, at least have a fair idea of how the climate is, the weather is. When we're going to SA, I checked Johannesburg weather for a whole week. The whole week we're going to spend there, I checked the weather. The same for Cape Town. So I had a fair idea of what the weather was going to be like. And that informed my packing of the clothing, what I was going to wear in Johannesburg, in Nairobi, and in SA, and even in Dubai. I remember when we were supposed to go to Dubai, I checked out the weather. I knew it was cold, so I carried a lot of sweaters. So if you find that the place is going to be cold at the time of your visit, you're going to be well prepared. Else, you're going to get there and you'll not be a happy person. Of course, there are lots of malls you could shop, but you just get there the first day, you have no idea where to find what. So it's going to be a bit difficult. But if it so happens that you didn't prepare and you've already landed in the country, you're definitely going to be safe with getting a mall. And a lot of the countries have Uber and Bolt services. All you need to do is to ask the hotel for the nearest mall or supermarket so you can shop for your clothing or anything you left. That is the one thing that can make your trip very easy. The fact that you've left something back home doesn't mean you should struggle through your visit. The same day you arrive, you could use that service. Talk to the reception at the hotel, ask them the nearest place to shop for anything you want. I remember when we went to Nairobi, we made those inquiries. We wanted some toiletries and we got them right at the hotel too. So in case you've already traveled and you didn't know the weather, you didn't know what's going to happen, and you've landed there, just get the information from the receptions at the hotel. They'll provide you with the reception. They might even give you a hotel shuttle that you pay for to take you to the mall and back for safety reasons. It was one of the things we did. We used the shuttle, and then later we realized Uber was also okay and Bolt. So if you land there on the first day and you need something, that is one way. The other thing is you can Google, okay? You can Google based on your location to see how long it takes to get to the nearest mall or shopping center, and you can get what you want, so your trip will be exciting. You don't have to go through your trip be miserable because of the weather. And then one thing you can also prepare for before you go on your trip is your Uber You can load your Uber wallet and your Bolt wallet, I think, but I loaded Uber mistakenly, but it was really, really good. I was able to use my card on my Uber, and so all the rounds I did, it just got deducted automatically. I didn't need to carry cash. Now, talking about cash, every country and its exchange policy. Now, for a place like South Africa, you could change from dollars to rand, but please, you cannot carry Ghana cedis out of the country to change into the currency of that country. You cannot carry your cedis, cross the border, and then change it in that country. You have to convert your cedis to dollars here in Ghana, and then when you go out of the country, you now convert from dollar to the country you are visiting, their currency. So for example, if you're traveling to Nairobi or Kenya, you're going to spend some days there, you convert to dollars. When you get there, then you convert the dollars to shillings. If it's South Africa, especially Cape Town, you convert. When you get to Cape Town, you can convert to rand. There are a lot of foreign exchanges there you can get, especially at the mall. One of the places that you could do that was the VA Waterfront. There was a place you can change your currency. That's $100 to maybe to some rands, you know. So you can just convert your dollar to rands, but do not carry your Ghana cedis out of Ghana and think that you can convert from Ghana cedis to rand. It doesn't work. So if you're a new person, if you're new to traveling, these are some of the things you can do to prepare yourself. And if you're traveling with a group, I'll go into details, but if you are traveling with a group, there are certain things I would want you to ask them. And one of the things that you should ask is their policies regarding movement. We were not really restricted, you know, you're allowed to move about, but it just probably would be safer with the company. But someone told me for them, they were restricted when it came to moving, okay? They had specific instructions with regard to moving. And the reason I'm talking about movement is because if, for example, you want to convert your currency and then your group restricts how you can move about, you're going to be in a bit of a fix. So this is where a card will come in. I had my card and it was an absolute game changer. So even though you can convert into dollars, if you have a Visa card, call your bank, let them activate your card for international use, right? They would limit the restrictions on your card so you can do your purchasing and use your card freely. I did that with my bank, and I did mine even a day before traveling because, yeah. So when I got to Nairobi, I really didn't want to shop, but it was, I think, Johannesburg and then Cape Town. Johannesburg, yes, I used my card to order some food. It was quite easy. I made payment with my card and life was less stressful, so I didn't really have to touch the dollars and convert them. My card was enough, and in the card you're going to have your Ghana cedis, right? So the deductions would be made in the equivalence of their currency. So physical cash you cannot change, but the cedis you have in your bank will be converted to their currency, and then you can use it. And you can also do ATM. If you have your Visa card and you get to the country, you can use your ATM to withdraw in their currency and use it. So these are some of the things you would want to know before your journey. I'll do another video talking about the journey itself and then post journey.